The Heroes of Olympus, Book 4, The House of Hades, by Rick Riordan. Chapter 40, Annabeth. Annabeth woke staring at the shadows dancing across the hut's ceiling. She hadn't had a single dream. That was so unusual, she wasn't sure if she'd actually woken up. As she lay there, Percy snoring next to her and Small Bob purring on her belly, she heard Bob and Damasen deep in conversation.
"You haven't told her,"
Damasen said.
"No,"
Bob admitted.
"She is already scared."
The giant grumbled.
"She should be. And if you cannot guide them past night?"
He said night like it was a proper name, an evil name.
"I have to," Bob said. "Why?" Damasen wondered. "What have the demigods given you? They have erased your old self, everything you were. Titans and giants. We are meant to be the foes of the gods and their children, are we not?" "Then why did you heal the boy?"
Damasen exhaled.
"I have been wondering that myself. Perhaps because the girl goaded me, or perhaps... I find these two demigods intriguing. They are resilient to have made it so far. That is admirable. Still, how can we help them any further? It is not our fate."
"Perhaps," Bob said, uncomfortably.
"But do you like our fate?" "What a question! Does anyone like his fate?" "I liked being Bob," Bob murmured, "before I started to remember."
"Huh." There was a shuffling sound, as if Damasen was stuffing a leather bag.
"Damasen,"
the Titan asked,
"do you remember the sun?"
The shuffling stopped. Annabeth heard the giant exhale through his nostrils.
"Yes, it was yellow. When it touched the horizon, it turned the sky beautiful colors." "I miss the sun," Bob said. "The stars, too. I would like to say hello to the stars again." "Stars."
Damasen said the word as if he'd forgotten its meaning.
"Yes, they made silver patterns in the night sky."
He threw something to the floor with a thump.
"Bah! This is useless talk. We cannot—"
In the distance, the Maeonian Draken roared. Percy sat bolt upright.
What? What?
"It's okay." Annabeth took his arm. When he registered that they were together in a giant's bed with a skeleton cat, he looked more confused than ever.
"That noise... Where are we?"
"How much do you remember?" she asked. Percy frowned. His eyes seemed alert. All his wounds had vanished. Except for his tattered clothes and a few layers of dirt and grime, he looked as if he'd never fallen into Tartarus.
The demon grandmothers, and then... not much."
Damasen loomed over the bed.
"There is no time, little mortals. The Draken is returning. I fear its roar will draw the others, my brethren, hunting you. They will be here within minutes."
Annabeth's pulse quickened. "What will you tell them when they get here?" Damasen's mouth twitched.
"What is there to tell? Nothing of significance, as long as you are gone."
He tossed them 2 Draken leather satchels.
"Clothes, food, drink."
Bob was wearing a similar but larger pack. He leaned on his broom, gazing at Annabeth as if still pondering Damasen's words. "What have the demigods given you? We are meant to be the foes of the gods and their children." Suddenly, Annabeth was struck by a thought so sharp and clear, it was like a blade from Athena herself. "The prophecy of 7, she said. Percy had already climbed out of the bed and was shouldering his pack. He frowned at her.
"What about it?"
Annabeth grabbed Damasen's hand, startling the giant. His brow furrowed. His skin was as rough as sandstone. "You have to come with us," she pleaded. "The prophecy says foes bear arms to the doors of death. I thought it meant Romans and Greeks, but that's not it. The line means us. Demigods, a titan, a giant. We need you to close the doors." The Draken roared outside, closer this time. Damasen gently pulled his hand away.
"No, child," he murmured. "My curse is here. I cannot escape it."
"Yes, you can," Annabeth said. "Don't fight the Draken. Figure out a way to break the cycle. Find another fate."
Damasen shook his head. "Even if I could, I cannot leave this swamp. It is the only destination I can picture."
Annabeth's mind raced. "There is another destination. Look at me. Remember my face. When you're ready, come find me. We'll take you to the mortal world with us. You can see the sunlight and stars." The ground shook. The draken was close now, stomping through the marsh, blasting trees and moss with its poison spray. Farther away, Annabeth heard the voice of the giant Polybides urging his followers forward.
"The sea god's son! He is close!"
"Annabeth," Percy said urgently.
"That's our cue to leave."
Damasen took something from his belt. In his massive hand, the white shard looked like another toothpick, but when he offered it to Annabeth, she realized it was a sword, a blade of dragon bone, honed to a deadly edge, with a simple grip of leather.
"One last gift for the child of Athena," rumbled the giant. "I cannot have you walking to your death unarmed. Now go, before it is too late."
Annabeth wanted to sob. She took the sword, but she couldn't even make herself say thank you. She knew the giant was meant to fight at their side. That was the answer, but Damasen turned away.
"We must leave," Bob urged as his kitten climbed onto his shoulder.
"He's right, Annabeth," Percy said. They ran for the entrance. Annabeth didn't look back as she followed Percy and Bob into the swamp, but she heard Damasen behind them, shouting his battle cry at the advancing draken, his voice cracking with despair as he faced his old enemy yet again.